Dude, this is such
So
a cool environment. Just like it's built different than most caves. I like that.
yeah,
Yes, it is
All
because of
right.
the mod pack that I installed that basically makes it almost endless, where it is less likely to just end in a little tiny like cave.
That's so
yep. And with
tight.
that, welcome back to the Midnight Review. I am your host, Manta. I am joined by Phoenix of Phoenixsvoid on twitch.tv/YouTube.
Hi.
I am also joined by Thomas from Intro Nerded on
What up?
twitch.tv and also YouTube. Today we are doing Zack Snyder's Justice League. After a four-year wait to get this movie actually made, after Joss Whedon's piece of trash that he delivered us, this is a pretty good start. How did we feel about it, gentlemen?
I enjoyed it more than I thought it was going to. I actually had a really, really fun time watching it. Overall, I had a very fun time watching it.
Yeah, I also had a really fun time watching it. The second half of it, first half I felt was a lot of it was unnecessary because it kind of felt sluggish, but I mean, it is what it is. I didn't see the first one, and also I have been waiting for 4 years for this one. But hey, that's okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, so I thought it was pretty good. Much better than the first one. We'll go deeper into that a little bit later on. But just first impressions, beautiful. Great film. Now, for our favorite segment, knowledge check. With like a check. Now knowledge check.
Now for
All right.
Manta's favorite segment.
Okay. 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 All right.
where you guys go? I know more than
That's
all of you.
fine. You guys are off the podcast. It's just me
I
now.
know all of it now.
Welcome
I know
back to
all of it.
the Midnight Critic. All right. So yeah, let's get it. Let's get our knowledge on the board.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'll go first. My knowledge over DC on itself is pretty all right. I like to say nowhere near Marvel related knowledge, but just off the bat, I've seen every DC movie, most of their shows. I've read various comics. There are still to this day characters that I get told about that I didn't know existed. But as far as that, it's very rare.
Oh
Phoenix,
yeah.
how's yours?
So I actually have read a few comics, not a lot, but I did read some of the around the same time I was reading Secret Wars, I read some of the stuff that happened with the Rebirth, and I actually read Rebirth itself, so I know a little bit, and I've watched some
All
YouTube
of it?
stuff. Yeah, the entire Rebirth. Yeah, I read like 1 through 6 or so. It was
Nice.
like the entire thing, so I read all of that. That is, it's I mean, it's not a ton, but I like have my bearings. Pretty much similar to Marvel. I know a little bit more about Marvel.
Yeah, seems to be the theme. Thomas,
Mhm.
how are we doing?
If I ever have watched a DC movie other than Dark Knight Rises,
Did you not watch
I don't
the
remember it.
entire Dark Knight trilogy? Only Dark Knight
You've never
Rises?
seen a Superman movie?
I don't remember it if I did, and if I did, like I said, it would have been forever ago.
Oh, that is our knowledge check.
Yeah. Now we can go in a little bit deeper. How do we feel about the length?
uh, it was well, honestly, I watched it in like 3 parts. I watched like the first hour and a half one day, then later that day, like at night, I watched another hour, and then another completely separate day, I watched the last like hour and a half of it. So it was long. I think its length is justified with like all the content and everything that happened in it. I did appreciate it all. It definitely made me feel like I knew what was going on and the motivations for every character and everything. So I feel it was good. Um, Honestly, a bunch of older movies used to be that long, but it kind of just stopped being a thing. Like,
Yeah.
not necessarily recently, but kind of yeah, recently.
It's coming back. I feel like Avengers very much
Yeah,
kind of put it back on the
yeah, and
map.
Godzilla v Kong's gonna be like 3 hours. Like,
It's actually not. We looked it up.
no, it's three
It's
It's
hours.
an hour 57,
yeah.
Godzilla
which
vs
just
We
under
Kong.
two.
yes, we googled it today because I thought it was really short too. I was
It's
like, that doesn't make
Well,
any sense.
also
it's three.
because
Look it up today.
Manta and you both thought that next week would be Godzilla versus Kong,
Yeah, we did. That's
and
why
It
it's
is an
not.
hour
plans got
53. What the hell?
Yeah, it's gonna be definitely strange.
Oh wow, that's like shorter than all the other ones, and this is like the biggest one, dude. What in the? It
Yeah,
better be
I'm
full of
very
monster
worried.
fighting,
I'm
dude.
very worried
Ugh,
that it's gonna be two big fight scenes,
bruh.
and you're
If
not
it
gonna, and
is,
people aren't gonna like it.
I'm gonna
I'm
be
very
upset
scared.
if it's not a lot of monster fighting. But we're not here to talk about Godzilla v Kong.
We're
We
not
are
here to
here to
talk about
talk
it.
about that. But that is a good
Zack
point.
Snyder's.
Like it was. I mean, the length was fine. I was fine with the length. But Thomas, what do you think?
Uh, first part felt way too elongated. I
Now, what do
understand
you
like
mean
it
by
introduced
first
a new.
part?
Sorry, I also watched the movie in two halves because
Okay,
Yeah, I
the
because
movie's
watched.
it
long.
It's
is broken up
long.
on its own into
It's
6 different
long.
parts plus
Yeah.
an epilogue.
So here, let me say this: everything up to Act 4, I feel like could have been trimmed down a little bit here and there, just because some of the scenes felt like they carried on a little too far or too low, too long, and they didn't really feed into like the whole story altogether.
Hmm.
So after Act 4, though, everything from Act 4 and forward actually felt like they were giving something to the whole thing, and that it actually needed all that content to where, okay, this makes sense why it's got this little weird pause or whatever. So instead of like a 4-hour movie, I think this movie could have been condensed into like 3 hours and 30 minutes, something like that. It just felt like it was just needed a little bit of trimming.
Okay.
So
I mean, that's fair. Overall, I liked the length. I didn't think it felt. I was never bored personally. There's never a moment where I was like, "This sucks." I was all here for it throughout the entire thing, and I sat down and watched it all. I woke up at
You watched it all
9
in
a.m.
one go.
Yeah, I watched it all in one go.
Jesus
I woke up at
Christ.
9 a.m., watched it till about like 1:30. It was about over,
Hmm.
and then I got up and went to work. I
Yeah.
sat down and watched the entire movie the day it came out all in one go. It was good. Like, there was never a point where I was like, "Man, this is getting really boring." There were some. We're gonna move on past that. There were some things that I wish were a little bit different about it. We'll get into that a little bit later.
Yeah, but as far as length goes, I feel like it was fine. I mean, it's like geez, it's like thinking about like the binge watching culture that kind of we have now. It
Yeah,
definitely I think will fulfill that. I think some people will still complain and be like, "Oh, it's too long," but then they'll go watch like fucking 6 hours of one TV show. Like
yeah.
yeah.
I
And we
feel
also got it.
it was fine. Other TV shows have been like so much padding and everything, and this one I feel the length is comparable to a TV show, and it felt more like a mini series than a movie. Even though like the movie budget was definitely there, there are definitely some things that did not look great as far as CGI and stuff, but we can talk
Oh, I
about
want
that.
to talk about the
Yeah,
CGI on that movie too,
it's
because one of the very first scenes where the like temple thing, the Amazonian temple,
mm-hmm,
falls into the ocean,
mm-hmm,
it looks just like they took like smoke grenades and they just like lit them and then they like infused them with like just the standing still water. So it
bruh,
doesn't look like actually like any good CGI. It just looks really
dude,
fake. And I'm like,
yeah.
oh.
Honestly,
And
in the
that's the only
very
time they kind of cut quickly to the next like scene. And I was like, all right.
there were a couple scenes in the very beginning when Lex Luthor is like standing in that weird pool. It looks so fucking weird. He looks so like out of place. It looks like a bad green
Yeah,
screen. Like there was that one. There was like oh, jeez, man.
there were some things. We'll get to those later.
Yeah, we'll
I
talk
do want
about
to circle back.
specifically the CGI and
Yeah,
cinematography.
I want to circle back to the length just one last time and throw this in there. The length was definitely justified in the fact that before this movie, the only person who had had their own solo movie before this film came out was supposed to come out was Superman. They had had their own solo film. Batman had been in Batman v Superman along with Wonder Woman, but all those characters then got solo movies after Justice League came out. So this is them trying to flesh out this. This is what the movie was originally supposed to be, was to flesh out some of these characters just a little bit so that they could do their solo movies. That's why the length is as long as it is, because like the actual story part of it, where it's just Steppenwolf, is kind of what was just shoved in our faces for the first one, and that's just what I wanted to tack on there.
Yeah, no, no, no. That's fine. That's fine. Like, I definitely. I don't think it necessarily justifies it, but it does make sense. And honestly, I don't have a problem with it because I really liked pretty much all the characters. I thought all the characters are pretty good, and they had at least like maybe not the craziest best motivations, but they did have good motivations that I was like, okay, that's
Yeah,
actually pretty believable, and it's a good story.
Yeah.
for sure. I got some characters, or like some type of characters that I do want to talk about first off, but we're gonna kind of go a little bit in order for how the movie does it.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
I
That
want
sounds
to talk about the whole scene with the Amazons. It just the whole island. You did mention how bad the CGI was, but just overall, the greatness of that whole ordeal with Steppenwolf on that island.
I
And
liked
just
when Steppenwolf yeeted. So I will say when they're in the temple and the fight's happening, I like that there's not too much over explanation at that point for the mother boxes or anything. It's just we know it's something they have to defend and that they've been defending it for a very long time. And they don't fucking like beat us over the head with that. I think that's nice. The fight scene with Steppenwolf in the temple, it just feels like the temple is way too fucking small. Like there are so many like shots that are a little too close up to where you can't see the action. And that bothered me a little bit. It was nothing like too crazy, but there are a couple moments in the film where the camera's just way too close to something and you can't really see what the fuck's going on.
yeah,
Yeah. I think you're right on there with the island and how it's kind of awkward in some places when they're talking about or where the camera's placed in the temple.
Yeah.
I'd also want to say though that some of the CGI with the temple or some of the action shots with the temple are really cool in the sense of like when she's like, "Hey, hit the post out, close the door." And
Mhm.
like, they hit these massive wooden pillars and knock them out of place just to have these massive stone doors close. Is
Mhm.
really cool,
I thought it was
but at
cool.
the same time, wasn't there like a shot of like a skylight
Yeah, there was
earlier?
there was a
yeah, there
skylight.
was.
There was a
No, yeah,
skylight.
I also noticed that is that there is definitely a skylight. That's
Yeah,
why they dropped the temple into the ocean. In the original one, they didn't drop the temple into the ocean, so he just jumped out of the top of the thing.
bruh.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's
the
why
cool.
the
skylight,
temple got
because
jumped into
they
the
like, and they
ocean.
made the skylight a big point. Like that was a really good
Yeah,
shot when they like went through the skylight in the top.
yeah.
Man, yeah, that's a really good.
And also, they're not very smart. They don't know that he's super strong. They know he was an alien. Because the only
I feel like
Amazonian
they
that would have
should
been
have.
around was Wonder Woman's mother. I think she was actually there.
Yeah, like the only because Diana only found out by looking at that like ancient like Greek painting thing, right? Like that's how she figured out about Steppenwolf and everything.
Yeah,
Because
about
she
Dark
actually
Side.
looked at
That's how
that.
she learned about
Well,
Yeah,
Dark
dark
she
Side.
side.
got alerted through the
Through
light.
the yeah, through the Artemis arrow,
Yeah, yeah,
lighting
yeah,
up
yeah.
Yeah.
that temple.
Yes, 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 yes.
Wee.
Mm.
Yeah, I did just want to talk about how awesome that whole scene is. I love the whole no fear part. It just shows the Amazonians almost stopped him though. Like, did you see how they were holding him
Yeah, dude.
back?
Till he fucking
Like,
yeeted
it
three of
just
their
shows the
horses like
power
they
of
were
them.
nothing. It was
Yeah,
so fucking great.
and they were just yeeting that thing away from him that
But it
entire
also
time, and it
it
was
also it
intense.
also shows how powerful fucking Steppenwolf really was. That he was able to just like take them all on like they were fucking nothing. Like they were
Yeah,
able to hold him back a little bit, but kind of just barely. They were barely able to do anything.
but it was cool showing the power of that one faction. Because later on, we're gonna move on to Atlanteans. You see the Atlanteans get absolutely decimated underwater.
Yeah, but they also didn't have as many people. There were like fucking five of those dudes
That's
defending that
true.
thing. But
And the reason was because
but it
King Orm, go for it.
but it was cool seeing Mira bloodbend, and I want to talk about like the action specifically because the action in this movie was pretty fucking good. I actually really liked
It
the
was.
action quite a lot.
Yeah, it was. I forgot she did that. That bloodbending was
Yeah, the
sick.
bloodbending was tight as fuck, and just like watching Steppenwolf literally cutting dudes in half and everything is so badass. Like
Yeah,
this makes me want to have more fucking rated R movies like Deadpool and everything. But like this one was cool because like it had its comedic moments and lighthearted themes, but also it was taking itself pretty seriously. Not too seriously, but enough to where it didn't feel like just another Marvel movie.
Yeah.
yeah. And that's where the magic of the DC universe is, though,
Yeah.
because their
Yeah.
characters, they have very few PG-13 characters.
Yeah.
Everyone's done their fair share of rated R in the DC world.
Yeah. Exactly.
I also wanted to comment on that in the sense of I was watching this movie and I was kind of thinking about like, man, this doesn't even feel remotely close to a Marvel movie. Like the only
Yeah.
movie that kind of felt somewhat close was like Deadpool, and it's on like multiple levels.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, they don't really have a filter. They kind of just do what they need to get done. But also at the same time, I've noticed that with just this one, like I said, I don't watch a lot, but just this DC movie, everything in it kind of seemed like, okay, yeah, that's like something that could happen if it was to happen in some sort of way. Like, yeah, some alien transporting to our planet, probably not. But us having some mythical things that fell from the sky that we really don't understand or something like that, you know, all right, I could maybe get behind that, you know. So unlike where we have Marvel, where it's like, oh yeah, you know, this guy over here just makes an arc reactor out of nothing, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, I guess.
Not out of nothing.
I know he's smart and everything. My God,
Built it out of materials in a cave. Whatever.
I know what he
Gonna move
built it
on.
out of. I know what he built it out of.
No, I see what you're saying though, Thomas. Yeah, it
Leave it.
definitely and it definitely the superheroes feel more super in the DC universe compared to the Marvel universe. Marvel universe is like scientist A builds robot suit, scientist B gets radiation poisoning and turns to a green man. Scientist C turns into a small ant version. You know, it's like most of them are a bunch of scientists and stuff where in DC, it's like you've got the billionaire, you've got literal fucking god Superman, you've got Amazonian woman, you've got guy that just like got fucked up in one of his dad's experiments and got turned into a super cyborg made out of robot
Well, he didn't
robot
get messed up
parts.
in one of his dad's experiments. That was what his
Oh
dad
yeah, his dad
wanted to
did that
happen.
to him. Yeah, yeah. His dad
Yeah,
did that
because he
to
was in
him.
an accident.
Yeah. But still, he was caught up in one of his dad's experiments that was on him because his dad couldn't let go of him. And like that's a big I definitely want to talk about like the relationships between like the characters and like specifically like father figures and everything because that's like a big thing in Justice League for sure.
We did want to talk about the Atlanteans' defenses, though, because this is setting up the solo movies that have since come out, but were not out before. So, like the whole thing with King, with when they're talking about protecting the mother box and how there's nobody there, it's because King Orm is pulling them because he wants to attack the surface world, which is something we see in Aquaman, in the first Aquaman, which is just something cool that I wanted to point out because like the way that he just is trying to build and connect his world. Because the other Justice League, the first one,
Fucking died again, son of a bitch.
the first Justice League doesn't feel connected to the other movies in any way, shape, or form. And Zack Snyder taking this on has smoothed it out completely, almost as if this one is becoming the canon version, which I think we'll probably see this one get announced as the mainline version for the movie. I just wanted to mention that 'cause I thought it was cool.
Yeah,
so we got
no.
Atlanteans.
I haven't seen Aquaman, so I have no attachment to this universe or anything. Like I don't know anything about what's going on. Like this is really my first deep dive into the Snyder stuff. Besides, I watched Batman vs Superman, and I did not really care for it that much.
So you haven't seen Man of Steel?
No, I didn't really. I don't really like Superman.
Let's talk about Batman. How did everyone like this version of Batman?
Why is his voice so deep in some parts?
Oh, because he is a voice changer.
Okay.
Yeah, so this Batman, he's kind of smarter than some Batman we've seen interpreted. He has a voice changer, so that way he's not doing that thing to his voice where he deepens it. He has a voice changer that he activates. So you see him use it when they're rescuing the people down in the tunnels under, I think, I want to say it's Arkham, but I don't think it's Rikers Island. Down in those tunnels, and he gets near the people. He turns on a voice changer. That's why his voice sounds different.
Oh, I didn't see that at
Okay.
all.
Yeah, no, he didn't like. That's what it's a voice changer that he has. That's why his voice sounds weird.
So we're
That's
just
his.
supposed to know that?
Well, no, it's in Batman v Superman. He has
Okay,
voice changer.
so all right.
Lord.
I like this Batman though.
Thank you.
He was good.
Thank you. Great.
Um,
Great to see Ben Affleck's Batman.
I thought Batman was super fucking thick too.
he
He's a
was.
very thick Batman, but then Ben Affleck, just like when he's just standing around not in the bat suit, he doesn't look nearly that huge. But when he's
Yeah,
in the
so I
bat
Yeah,
do
he
suit,
I
he
looks
do
looks
want to I do
massive.
want to
fucking
talk about
massive.
Like, my God, dude, do you have
why
like
that
5
is.
freaking layers of
Exactly, dude.
Kevlar on?
No, so I
Ugh.
do want to talk about why he does look
Yeah, dude.
different.
No, you're just supposed to assume he puts on 5 layers of Kevlar when he's Batman. But
Not
yeah,
going to be.
Batman, he was thick. Tell me why he wasn't thick in the not thick
Yeah.
scenes.
2 C's or are we sticking with 1 C?
Thick with 2 C's. Yes.
Okay, yeah, 2 C's, 2 C's, 2 C's. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, yeah. So the reason this is because Ben Affleck. I don't know if you guys had seen any of this in the news, but originally, after Batman v Superman, he was supposed to write, direct, and star in a Batman solo film.
Yeah.
Okay, you've got that news. So lots of things happened in his life. I'm not exactly sure what, but he's had problems with addiction before. So he ended up going to rehab after the first Justice League movie. And after rehab, he said that he wasn't going to be Batman again. That's why we got Robert Pattinson as Batman, and we got a whole new Bat movie coming out on its own. It's because Ben Affleck left the role and everything. So magic going from that, and when you're in rehab, crazy things happen. Sometimes you relapse, just crazy stuff. So that's why he looks a little bit different. And then so when the Snyder Cut came out, they went back and asked him to do it again. And for some reason this time he decided that he wanted to do it again. None of these people were under contract to do this movie again, by the way. So like all the new scenes you see with him where he looks skinny, you can tell those are all brand new scenes that he shot.
Yeah.
So that's just a testament to how much new footage was put in this movie.
Yeah.
So that's why.
So this movie's
What's up?
not 100% like original or 100% different. This movie's got things from the other movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, it does have things from the other
most
movie.
most of its action sequences are.
Yeah,
There are
they're
different tweaks for it, but most of them are.
action sequences
Okay.
and the character stories are different for quite a few people as well.
Yeah, so this is just more than a director's cut. This is what the director wanted to make, but Warner Brothers kept meddling with it. Zack Snyder had to leave the project because of a death in the family.
Mm-hmm.
And just all right, let's talk about Batman and how just his overall little bit of a character arc and development we see throughout this movie.
Yeah,
And Phoenix,
no.
you've seen Batman v Superman, right?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, how did you feel about his development throughout this movie?
So throughout this movie, Batman started out and he was kind of just angsty, and I didn't really like him very much in his first scene where he was going to find Jason Momoa, Aquaman.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what, this guy fucking sucks. But as he went on, he did get a lot better and was more charming. Especially his scenes with Alfred and with Wonder Woman were very good. There was a lot of sexual tension in one scene where they were both looking at the
we're gonna
computer
talk
together.
about it.
They
Yes.
had obvious sexual tension.
We are
during
going to
that scene.
talk about
I
it.
was like, damn. I feel like
Dude.
he did really good talking to everyone. Like he knew how to talk to Flash and be like funny and cool, and he made some like solid funny jokes. Like there was one where the Flash is like, "You have a satellite?" and he's like, "I have 6 of them." And I was just so funny. The delivery was very very good.
I don't think he was joking. I think he really has 6 satellites.
Yeah, dude, no, he wasn't, but it was said like a joke,
Yeah.
like at a scene where you're supposed to laugh, it was said like that. It was very funny. I like that a lot, and he had really good character interactions with pretty much everyone. I feel like I don't remember him talking to Cyborg a lot, but everyone else I feel like he did really
Yes, Cyborg was very much a Wonder Woman's person.
good. Mm-hmm.
Tommy, how did you feel, man?
Oh, that dude Batman, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, he Batman's character over the whole movie, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was good. He interacted with other people. Yeah, there's some obvious sexual tension, like you're saying.
You
Uh,
said sexual.
let's see, um, I mean, other than that, yeah, he kind of did his thing. Yeah, he didn't have much interaction with Cyborg, but that was a Wonder Woman recruit. I kind of like how he was like ends with Aquaman, and then they ended up kind of just making it up when he eventually joined. So it all worked together. Worked out.
Yeah, I feel like it was nice seeing how much respect Batman and Superman had for each other, especially by the end, and like how Batman wanted to bring back Superman no matter what, even if he knew it might end up bad. He still wanted to bring him back.
Yeah. Part of that could be guilt.
Well, yeah, it probably is guilt.
I feel like it's definitely his fault that Superman died. But that's for another day.
I don't even remember what happened in that movie, man. So that's another one of those things where you
Yeah.
know the movie. It definitely helps.
Yeah, so let's talk about Wonder Woman's character and get to that whole Batman thing, because I do got some stuff to say about that. How do we feel about Wonder Woman?
So Wonder Woman, uh, she was. I mean, she was fine. Like, I liked her story beats and her finding out about Darkseid. I like when we got to see her action scene in the bank was actually really good. I thought that was really fucking badass.
Yeah,
Thought it looked good.
it was a little corny.
Yeah, no, that line like at the end was fucking corny as shit when the little girl's
Yeah.
like, I want to be like you someday, and she's like, you can be
Yeah.
whatever you want,
You
little
can be
tiny child.
whoever you want to be. Yeah.
that
And I'm like,
that
nah,
was
she's not a
cheesy.
god.
That was cheesy as fuck. I was like, okay,
It was so cheesy.
all right, whatever.
I was like, I definitely cringed. I'm not gonna lie. I was
Yeah.
like, this is
Nah,
yeah,
that was corny. It was extremely corny. I did not like it. But the scene itself, besides that, was actually good. I like that scene, except for
yeah, the whole eco thing.
yeah. Well, I didn't really care about the terrorist, but the fight scene was good.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, the fight scene was actually really good. The other, there, I didn't like when they were going into the bank to like kind of deviate from the Wonder Woman thing, but go into the actual scene itself. I didn't like when they were going into the bank that camera shot that was like so closed in on the briefcase they were bringing in with which had the fucking bomb in it. It was like you could barely see what the fuck was going on during that entire
Yeah.
sequence, and I was like, okay, I see what you're doing and I respect it, but at least like let me see what's happening. Like it's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
But Wonder Woman's character, I mean, she had some all right moments. Like I feel like by herself, it really wasn't focused on her too much, and I think that was good. Like she had like that moment with a Cyborg, which was pretty all right. But I feel like honestly, Cyborg most of the work like it was nice he had that push from Wonder Woman, but most of the work he did by himself. So like I don't even give her
Yeah.
that much credit for that. But she was fine. She was fine. She was honestly probably the most forgettable in the movie besides her action scenes. Like her and Aquaman were pretty forgettable. But
Yeah.
Aquaman at least had a little bit more going for him with his scene with Willem Dafoe. That was really good, where
Yes.
they were talking about his dad and everything.
Yeah. And that seems to build up to Aquaman also. Like they were doing lots of building for solo movies, except for Wonder Woman, because there are some things about her I want to talk about. So the solo movie we got for her took place during World War One, which was was an origin story. But this movie sets up a completely different story for her to go to. We'll talk about once we get closer to spoiling the ending of the film. But I just wanted to put that out there. We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
But I did want to throw it out there. Thomas, how are you feeling about Wonder Woman?
I liked her interaction with everybody. She was a pretty good character. I kind of liked thinking about like what the outside view of like the whole bank thing was. Like if you were like a cop out there and all of a sudden like the building, like you don't know what's going on. You hear some gunfire, and then all of a sudden you hear the building just kind of like
nothing, blow up, and just the whole front of, like, side of it gets blown up. Like, you gotta think that like everybody in there is dead. But like, it's just I don't know. And for some reason, that's what I was thinking at the time. But she did have some really cool moments with them, and then I also liked her whole blocking bullets with her wrist thing. That was
That was
cool.
tight as fuck.
Yeah,
Like
the whole
her.
making it across the thing.
No, I will say like
Yeah.
her like when she's like putting her braces together, like that's her super move. I think it looks kind of stupid, honestly. I
Yeah.
think it looks dumb. And the way she's like when she's fighting Superman and she's like, "I don't want to do this to you," puts bracelets together. I was like, "Okay. That doesn't seem like the most terrible thing to happen, but you know, you do you, girl."
Well, yeah, that's because those store up kinetic energy, which they talk about in that movie, because Batman completely copies the idea for his own thing. I do want to. We're gonna circle back to Batman for a second. I really love Alfred in this movie.
Yeah,
I think he's
Alfred's
my
really good.
favorite one ever. He's the
Yeah.
best.
He is an amazing author.
I like everything with him. I like the whole scene with the tea. And I do love when they talk about the gauntlets, and he's like, "Yeah, Master Wayne had this idea," and she's like, "Oh, really? I wonder where he got that from." Knowing that that's how her gauntlets work, I think that's just really cool. Yeah,
Yeah, he was a good comic relief character.
it was. And you do see him helping like Batman build stuff and everything, which I like. Some Alfreds just are just there serving like tea and crumpets, but this guy is like actually in there building the tech.
Yeah, Alfred's pretty badass in the comics. He actually has some really good moments.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also, didn't freaking Bruce Wayne say that Alfred was his boss or something?
yeah.
Yeah, he
I
did.
did love that
That was
little
funny.
scene. Let's talk about Wonder Woman and the whole Batman relationship, because I'm sure we are not the only people that were feeling that.
I mean,
The whole
I don't
thing.
think there's a lot to say about it. Like they just had one moment of sexual tension. Besides that, I don't think there was a lot.
Yeah. So in the Joss Whedon version, there is more. There is more of those little moments like that. There's a part where think Batman gets his shoulder dislocated.
Mm-hmm.
Can't remember if I remember that correctly. And she's like helping put him up, and they have a whole interaction, kind of like what they were doing near the computer.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's really interesting that they kind of elaborate towards because that's something that does happen in the comics sometimes. Is a Wonder
Yeah.
Woman and Batman relationship or Wonder Woman and Superman relationship. This one's very geared towards Lois Lane and Superman, and
Yeah, no,
yeah,
Lois Lane was like just grieving. Like it was honestly really sad seeing her because she was just grieving and in grief, and that's a
yeah,
really sad thing to see. But
until she got help from our mystery character.
can we? I guess spoilers. Yeah, I mean like that was
Yeah,
pretty
we're here now.
interesting when Martian Manhunter fucking just showed
Yeah.
up, and it showed he was. I was watching an IGN video like that guy was like someone from Batman vs Superman or something like that.
Yeah, I think he was also in the Justice League movie. He was just a regular, I think, colonel, some dude in the military, some military title. And like they showed him quite often, but you didn't know who he was or what his purpose was because they cut him out of the film.
Mm-hmm.
But now we actually get to see Zack Snyder's version, which is he wanted Martian Manhunter to be there. And I
Yeah.
do think it's really cool how they did it because like I could imagine not knowing anything about comics and stuff and just seeing this lady walk out of a room and morph into an alien man and then morph into a black dude and just walk away.
Yeah, what did
I
you
think
think about
that's so
that,
funny.
Thomas?
Yeah. I saw that happen. I was like, oh, okay, cool. That's totally like I scratched my head because I was like, I don't really know what's going on here. That's odd. I didn't really know what to think about it. And then at the end,
Mhm.
where
Yes.
freaking Superman's like, "Oh, I love you, Ma.
Mm-hmm.
Your ma's not real."
No, no, he's not always the mom. No, that's funny though. That's
Mhm.
funny. Yeah, imagine the mom is dead and Martian Manhunter's been playing them for so long.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
That's the only thing I thought really about him. Was like, oh,
Yeah,
very.
I get. Yeah,
"Oh,
I guess
love you,
people would.
Ma."
I guess people would think that. Yeah,
That's what I was
very
thinking.
good job. Yeah, people saw that movie and was like, "Oh, the mom's dead. She's been dead this entire time." That's good. Nah, I didn't even think about that. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah, no, she is alive. Yeah, that
Wow.
they sure didn't explain that. Oof.
That's funny.
No, they
dude.
didn't at all.
Oof, that's funny. Yeah. She's not an alien. It's a whole nother person.
Yeah, sure.
Oof. Yeah, no, that's funny. Well, since we're on Martian Manhunter, we're gonna continue with him. I am a fan of the comics. I do like the storylines. So like I was especially giddy at the end. Just pulls up outside of Bruce Wayne's like lakeside house. And it's just like, oh, by the way, if you need help, I liked what you guys did to Steppenwolf back there. I'm here for you now. And it just kind of flies off. And just
Right.
like the full costume and everything. And he looks like a genuine beast, bro.
Mhm.
Like he'd be really cool to see later
I
on.
really want to see him later on because he
He
is a
does.
fucking awesome character.
He is. He's like Superman, except he's weak to fire. Fire, and he has telekinesis and mind powers.
Yeah, and he can like phase through things. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he's like Vision. He can shapeshift
He is
too.
very. I was about to say like he's pretty much DC's Vision.
Yeah, except he's way overpowered. He's strong. DC has lots of just
I don't
raw
think-
power characters.
I don't think Martian Manhunter's not that strong, right?
No, he is. He could fight Superman. He's weak to fire, and that's about it. I think. I'm blanking on what else he's weak to. I'm pretty sure it's just fire.
I don't know. I feel like in the
And, like,
Justice League cartoon, he wasn't super powerful. Like he's powerful, but he wasn't like super powerful.
Yeah, and he does have lots of Superman's powers. So he has the whole heat vision thing. There are some versions of him that can do that, and he can shapeshift. He can phase. He can yeah, and he's got the mind powers. He is a powerhouse. But yeah, DC very geared towards just absolute beast of characters.
Yeah.
Just things that they'd hurt. But yeah, I did want to talk about Martian Manhunter and just how throughout the movie you don't know much about him other than the fact that he randomly goes and helps Lois Lane of all people. How did we feel about that? That he would choose to go help Lois Lane, just kind of out of the blue.
I mean, there's not really any motivation like for it. Like I
Yeah.
don't know what motivation
It's
there is
odd.
for
I
it.
don't know why he did that. Yeah. Hopefully that's like explained later on in like the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Well, right now, a
maybe-
sequel isn't planned.
Well, like maybe it's because he understands her grief because in at least in the cartoon, like basically what happens is like his entire family is killed on Mars.
Yeah, his plan's basically dead.
So that could be it. But I mean, in the movie, there's nothing saying why he did it, so it's a little confusing. It doesn't really
Yeah.
make a lot of sense. There's nothing really showing us why he's doing that.
Yeah. And I did also just remember something else about the whole Batman and Martian Manhunter scene. Batman's like not at all fazed by the fact that there's an alien man hovering outside of his house.
I mean,
He's just
Yeah,
he's
I
just
think he's kind of used
yeah.
to it now.
Yeah,
He's
he
like,
just kind of
"Ah."
walks outside.
yeah, he's literally fucking got Superman. He just fucking killed Steppenwolf with everyone. Like he
Yeah.
just got done fucking headshotting a bunch of fucking bug people. Like
Exactly. Why would he be phased by this
Yeah, there's
one
not-
dude floating towards him? Like, oh,
exactly. He's probably just like, oh okay, just another Tuesday morning.
Waking up, and aliens have only been in this world for like, what has it been? Maybe 5 years in that universe. Yeah, I just think it's funny. I just like Batman a lot.
Yeah,
Just everything about him. He's
yeah, he
great.
was good.
All right, let's move on to. We talked about Wonder Woman. Let's talk about the. Let's talk about the Flash. How do we like him and his whole thing?
Thought it was good. I didn't really like him at all at first, but after the first scene with him, where he is going to the pet store to get a new job, like I actually legitimately liked him. I thought his scene was very good, and he was good comic relief where he wasn't too much. Like he was definitely that generic comic relief character, but he wasn't like, oh, I'm super nerdy or anything. He was just kind of a little awkward and funny. Like felt like a very kind of natural kind of thing.
he was super awkward.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I think he was
That
real.
dude
I
was
really liked
basically
him.
me, but fast.
But really fast, we're gonna talk about his speed in a second.
Yeah,
He
dude,
was
he
really
was he was
fast.
fast as fuck, dude. It was tight. I really liked all of the scenes where he had to just be real fast. Like some of the CGI for him was weird as fuck, and I didn't really like it. But some of it was actually really on point, especially his action scene where he first shows up. Like that was good. Oh, and I did want to say something earlier that I forgot to say. Wonder Woman and Alfred's relationship was actually really good. Like that was actually really nice. But Flash was good. I liked him.
That's good. Thomas, you got anything to
I,
add?
I,
to
I don't know why he was so awkward. I get like him being a little awkward and that being into his character role, but he seemed extremely awkward.
Yeah,
Really?
his mind is moving really fast.
Yeah, I didn't think he was that
Okay.
awkward.
That's his whole thing, is that he's processing everything at a faster rate. That's like, it's like one of the cool details
Well,
is
compared to
his,
everybody else, Phoenix. I
Yeah.
mean, like freaking Batman and Wonder Woman was like kind of looking at each other like, great, we got to put up with him for a little bit while we
Yeah.
get some more
Well,
people.
I mean, also he's younger too. Like everyone in that is like Wonder Woman's like what, hundreds of years old. Batman's probably in his like fucking what, 30s or 40s. Aquaman's
I
old
said
as
Wonder
fuck.
Woman was like 5,000 years old. I
yeah,
think.
Yeah, Wonder Woman's old as fuck.
Yeah.
Another thing about Flash too is him and his dad's relationship was actually really good. It was very, very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I do want to talk about some cool details though.
Also, with him fixing the freaking the radio, the handheld thing that he had at the very end, uh, does he have some sort of like extra power now, or was he always able to just like fix things as long as they were like technology?
I don't even know what
You
you're
move on to
talking about.
Cyborg, dude. You moved on to Cyborg, man.
Yeah.
We're not on Cyborg.
I don't know. Cyborg. What
What
are you
about-
talking about?
What about Cyborg?
No, we were talking about Flash.
Well, yeah, but when you're talking about the dad and Cyborg.
No,
No,
talking
he
about
was talking
Flash's
about-
dad. His
Oh,
dad's in
Flash's
prison.
dad.
When he's going to see his dad in prison, and like his dad actually
Yeah.
cares
Yeah,
for
yeah,
him,
yeah.
and is like,
Yeah.
"Stop wasting your life on me, man. I'm just stuck in prison." But Flash just cares so much about his father. I
Yeah,
thought
and then
that
at the
was
very end, he's like, "Hey, at least take my foot in the door, right?"
yeah, right. It was nice. It was a really good character
Yes.
relationship, and I thought it was really good. Definitely showed fucking the policeman being a fucking asshole to his dad. I was like,
Yeah.
fuck the cops.
He said FTP.
But
You know me.
yeah, man. What were you saying about Flash?
Me?
Yeah, you were saying something.
What was I saying?
What were you saying?
Oh yeah. No. So some really cool details about him. The whole thing with his room is like all the different TV monitors that he has up and everything, so that he can watch like multiple things at once. Really
Yes.
speaks to his character because he's kind of isolated. I don't know if you can tell, but like he's kind of by himself.
Yeah, he
He
lives in
sticks
like
mostly.
a dumpster.
Yeah, no, he lives in a. No, he doesn't
Yeah,
live
he
in a
lives in a
dumpster.
dumpster.
He lives in a dumpster.
I
Oh, he's mostly sheltered, and that's due to the fact that with his powers, he processes things at a quicker rate than literally everybody. That's like the whole thing with the TV monitors, that he can watch and process all those things
Oh,
at
dude,
once.
that's probably why he can have so many jobs too. Cause motherfucker had like 4 jobs.
Yeah, he did.
Like when he was going
Yeah.
to talk to his dad, he's like, "Hey, Dad, now I have 4 jobs." And his dad was like, "Jesus fuck, man, stop having so many jobs."
Yeah, that's
They
'cause
just wanted him to have one good job, not a bunch of crappy
Yeah.
jobs, which is what he had.
Right.
It's because he processes it faster. And I do want to talk about his action sequence a little bit. So the whole thing with when that lady we see in the car, who's Iris, which I don't know if you know, but that's who he ends up with in the comics. That's like his big love interest. That lady that he catches falling from that car, when he touches the glass, the way that it looks like liquid and
Dude,
then
that's so
snaps
cool.
Yeah, it was
is
so
so
tight.
cool.
That was tight.
It's a
as
testament
fuck.
to how fast he's going at that moment. It's just sick. And the way the shoes burned off of his feet
Yeah.
and just he left them there.
Yes,
Oh,
it was so fucking cool. And the way he grabbed the hot dog to give the dogs so that he could have a better chance at having the job.
yeah. The way he grabbed the hot dog.
Holy shit, dude! Come
All
on.
right, let's talk about how we felt about Cyborg. We've already kind of touched on him a little bit.
The
let's-
Flash ran very fast, and well, do we not want to talk about the Flash going back in time?
No, we do. I'm saving
How
that till we
fast
get
he
towards
was?
the ending of the movie. We're not at the end of the movie yet. We're just talking about the characters and
Okay,
stuff.
so
We haven't gotten to that
Cyborg.
final act yet.
At first, I didn't like
Yeah.
Cyborg. I thought his design was shit. But then it
Yeah.
started to grow on me as I watched it more. I really like his design in Teen Titans, so I was
Yeah, I want his big bulk design too. I like it
that
more.
shit was tight. Yeah. I was still able to appreciate it by the end of the movie, but man,
Because
it
doesn't he turn
was,
blue?
Yeah, dude, he does, and he did have like
Yeah.
the hint of blue on his like fucking forehead, but
Yeah,
Yeah,
it shows
with
him
the,
really
like,
taking
stone
control of his
origin.
powers.
yes,
That
Yeah,
whole
it's like
the
his
whole symbolizing
process
the
or
blue in the
something.
middle.
yeah, man. I thought he was good, man. I like Cyborg actually quite a lot. I didn't at first, but he actually grew on me quite a bit as it kept going on, and I like that he was actually very important to the story. Like he was the one that actually took the mother boxes apart and everything. And
Yeah,
also just like the how it showed his power, and like I did think it was pretty cheesy as fuck, just like him being like, generic good guy. Now I have everyone's social security number, so I'm gonna give this poor lady all the money in the world. I'm so fucking epic. But
yeah, he just stole from a
Yeah.
bunch of
yeah,
people.
exactly. And then he like goes and like watches her take out the money, like, huh, I did a good thing.
Yeah,
I'm
like,
fucking epic.
Look
I
how
was like,
nice
I'm the best
I was
person
like,
how
ever.
good
I
I
was
am.
like, okay, this is kind of cheesy, but whatever. It was still fine. It showed that he was a good guy. And also his relationship with his father. Like, I like how much he hated his dad at first, and then, like, you see him kind of slowly start to like his dad. It's not, like, immediate. Like, it's at first when he saves him in the underground subway place where they're being kept by Steppenwolf. He saves his dad, and there's just a nod of respect between him and his father. Like no words said, they just have a really good like visual like nod at each other. I thought that was very very nice. And fucking he starts to get to like talk with his dad more, and by the time like his dad dies, he actually really cares for him, and he's sad that he's lost him. Even though I will say, when his dad kills himself, dude could have totally just stepped out of that room.
Right?
He
See,
had
like,
plenty of
Yeah.
time. He had plenty of time. He could
I
have
don't
been
know.
fine.
Maybe he didn't want to step out because maybe he thought Steppenwolf would, like, I don't know, grab him. Or
Dude,
something. I don't know.
Problem.
He could have
Yeah.
just closed the door.
yeah,
It was
he
it
could
was
have he could
sus.
have just like walked out, closed the door, and then it would have been fine. Dude. It would have been
Yeah.
okay. Like I was just like that was one of the dumbest deaths I've ever seen.
We're gonna start closing the door because you know it's
He
gonna
just
close slowly,
yeah.
and then walk out like at the last second. If you think it might be like a, whoa, is he gonna get me or not type thing.
Yeah,
He
Oh,
just
please
didn't
don't
want
have
to
that
look at his
from the
robot
house.
son.
yeah. Look at my
He was like,
disgusting, hideous robot boy.
look, yeah. Look what I did. Look what my boy. Look what I did to him.
He's fucking disgusting now. Don't look at him and make fun of him like I do.
I roast him every day when I get home. Tell him.
I get home and say, "Look who it is! The
Yeah.
fucking robot, the fucking disgusting red-eyed robot blob
Right.
man."
He's leaving grease on my couch. He sucks.
He gets oil everywhere. I had to clean up every goddamn day.
He doesn't have a job.
My
He's
couch,
just a robot boy.
my couch looks like those ducks that are covered in oil after an oil spill.
He's constantly watching porn with his right eye. I
Yeah,
can't
dude.
help him.
He's always in the virtual world watching porn, bro. That's all Cyborg does. He won't get off the couch. All he does is watch
He has a
porn.
phantom penis. I don't know how to help him. God.
Oh, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he just
no.
didn't want to look at his disgusting son.
I definitely feel for Cyborg though, because he does look like a robot. But you know,
definitely feel for my man, boy. I understand what he's going through, looking like a robot. I have to deal with it every day.
it definitely is not an easy life.
I personally- I know the
G.
struggle.
I'm looking like a robot. I love it.
Bro. But
How do you relate to just a robot, man? Like I don't even,
you
I don't even know where to
can't.
begin.
That's why it's so sad, bro. And you're like, I drove my car today.
Yeah. Too bad he had to fly.
Right. Oh my god,
Okay.
dude. But Cyborg was good. He was fine. He was a good character.
Yeah.
Thomas, do you have any? Have you said a lot? I feel like I've been talking a lot.
Yeah. Cyborg was a really good character. I liked him. Like I was saying earlier, which we didn't really get around to because I ended up finding out that was we were talking about Flash still, was the whole when he repairs like the little radio that he destroyed because he started to be like, now that I've talked to you about the science side of everything,
Mhm.
let me talk to you as a father.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then he
It's
destroys
like your
it.
mom was
Yeah.
ugly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I fucking hated you and your mother. the entire life.
I hate my robot son. He's just a blob.
I wish I
Yeah.
didn't bring you back. That was my bad. I should have let you.
I wish I would have just left you as a chess piece and an arm.
I could have put you in an iron lung.
He just looked at you every day. Wasted a mother box on you.
Thomas, what were you
It
saying?
We're
seems
terrible.
odd. It seems odd. Or like, how does he do it? Like, does he all of a sudden gain power, or has he always had the power of like bringing technology together? Because he doesn't touch it; he just puts his hand over it, and it goes back together.
I feel like
Well, yeah.
probably.
Well, no, he does. Little things come out of his hand that grab it.
Are they like?
Oh, do they?
Yeah, and so like yeah, so he gets full master. Like he doesn't have full control over his powers when we see him at the beginning of the movie, nor at the end of the movie. But now he better understands his self and what he's fully capable of. That's why now he feels like he could probably bring it back, and he can. He can rebuild it. How it saved the message, Lord only knows. But he was able to rebuild it.
Right.
He just has like master over technology. Like his powers are. He's actually pretty
Yeah.
fucking sick, honestly.
He's Doctor Strange.
I like when like his dad's like, you could just shoot off every nuke if you want to.
Yeah, like why would you
Yeah.
tell him that? Why would you
Dude,
tell
you
your
could shoot
sad,
every single-
depressed child
Yeah,
that you
shoot
could
every
kill
single
everybody?
nuke in the whole world with just an idea, like not even having to try.
Yeah.
Right. That
I
shit
would
was-
not tell him that. I
that
would be like, you can't shoot off every nuke.
Exactly, dude. You can't do this. No, you just
We-
don't tell him at all.
yeah.
Like if you plant the seed, he's gonna like try and be like, well, what if I try to?
His father's a little brain dead. We do have to speak on
for
it. His
be-
father
for
is
being-
not.
for being so
that
smart.
smart.
Like, and honestly, like I don't know. Like for a bit, I thought that him and his dad were not very great actors, but I feel like they got better as the show went on. And it's probably because I cared
Yeah.
for the character more. But at first I was like, man, these guys kind of suck, but they did get a lot better. Both of them did.
His dad is a douchebag.
Yeah, his dad sucks, dude. His dad does.
His dad
just sucks.
actually sucks. His dad's an actual douchebag. Just everything about
I
him.
think his
I didn't
dad
like
made
the guy.
mistakes, but like
Dude.
Okay.
all
His
right.
dad was a
I made up
douchebag.
for him. He made up for him though.
No, he didn't. He threw his son into a mother box and then complained about his son not being happy that he brought him back to life for selfish reasons.
You
And
ugly,
I-
ungrateful shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, but he didn't
You
throw
built
him
like
into
a
a mother box.
stove. Keep playing.
He didn't throw him into a mother box just because he was like, oh, you know what? I need another experiment today. Like that, he did that because he cared about his son.
Yeah, he did that
Because
because
he's
Really?
like,
Why wasn't he
"Oh."
at the football games?
Yeah, dude.
He didn't care that much.
Yeah.
All right.
No, what happened was he had his microwave just broke, you know, and he was really hungry
He
for a hot
wanted-
pocket.
yeah.
And he was like,
He
you
said,
know
"Hey,
what?
I got my son here."
I need to turn you into a microwave, son, so I can have some hot pockets. Daddy's
Nah.
hungry.
Yeah, he just didn't want to take care of a pair of lungs, an arm, and a head. That's all it was.
Yeah, he was tired of paying for the health insurance. Yeah.
He's like, "Let me bring my stupid son back."
You gotta bring back my dumb son. Fucking man, driving the bills up.
God.
But that's Cyborg,
the best character.
the best character. He's
It,
so
it is
good.
dad.
And his fucking shitty dad that just wanted a fucking pepperoni hot pocket, and that's it.
That is really funny though.
It is, dude.
I do like the whole Sonic cannon from Teen Titans. That's something
Yes,
that
dude.
Cyborg used in this movie.
Oh my god, yeah. His
Very
weapons
cool.
were tight, honestly. His weapons
Yeah.
were so fucking cool.
Very cool. Yeah, I'm not a fan of his whole design. He looks
Yeah, same.
he does look weird. It's because and I think they kind of missed on something because even in the comics, he's a big kind of bulky guy
He is.
in his suit, and that's what most media of him have portrayed. So
Mhm.
it is kind of weird that they went for this slimmed down model of living metal, which I get, we'll talk about it because we're gonna talk about Steppenwolf soon.
Yeah, I get it. Like by the end, I kind of understood it, but at first I was like, no, 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 no,
Yeah,
no.
and another detail. I like how when he flies, he puts on a face mask.
Yes, it's
That
so
is
cool.
so
always,
smart and
but
cool.
yeah.
It is dope. It is dope as fuck, actually. Like I was
Yeah,
really,
'cause
really happy with how that looked.
because not only is it sick to look at, but if you think about it this way, if you're a human and you go up to that altitude without anything on, and you're
Mhm.
just like blasting yourself through the sky, like you're gonna be hurt.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
It's very cool.
It was
And
fucking tight, man.
yeah, and I do want to talk about a little bit of how the mother box, so like over the movie, I did talk about him gaining control at the end, but there are some instances where you can see he doesn't have control, like when they bring Superman back, for instance. In the suit,
Yes.
the armor just reacts on its own to the being scared of Superman and
Mhm.
immediately
Yeah.
tries to kill him.
Yeah, dude, I
I thought
was
that was really
thinking
cool.
I thought that was actually stupid actually. I thought that was
That
fucking dumb. I was like, why does this dude he has all this power, all this control. He can shoot off nukes, but he can't turn off fucking computer assistants, you know?
yeah, well, like he doesn't have control. That's the thing is he doesn't know fully what he's capable of.
Ugh.
He just kind of thrusts into it. So let's talk about Aquaman. How do we like him?
Kind of like Wonder Woman. Um, he had like only one really good scene that I can remember, and that's when he's talking to Willem Dafoe. Uh, he when I first saw him when Batman was going to like find him, I was like, all right, hashtag angsty. This guy's gonna go raw. And I also found it so weird when he like went into the sea and then those ladies just start singing like they're his fucking personal fan club. I was like,
Yeah,
what
so
the
I
fuck
do
is
want to talk about that.
why is this happening? What is fucking going on? It felt like a fucking fever trip, dude. I could not comprehend what the fuck was happening.
Yeah, so the
Go
singing thing,
on.
I did want to talk about that for a second. The singing thing, I thought that was a really cool detail that they added because of the whole fact that to them, because they're cut off from most of civilization, to them he is like a god, which
Yeah.
this whole Zack Snyder's universe is based off of gods and men, and they really lean heavily into the gods. The whole thing with them singing is them worshiping who they would consider to be their god because he's the one that makes sure that they are fed and protected throughout the year. I just thought that
Okay,
was a really cool thing.
that's neat.
Thomas, how did you feel about him?
I liked how he looks and everything like that. I mean,
Yeah, he was pretty hot.
I knew it. I knew it was coming.
he just got picked. Amazonian woman flipping up
Or
Dude.
Greek man.
Aquaman. Freak.
Dude, we still haven't even talked about the fucking battle scene with the old battle scene with the old gods.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was cool.
the whole world building scene with the old gods fighting against Darkseid. Darkseid was actually there that time.
Yeah, exactly. I saw in there was a video, I think it was IGN, but they were just talking about the differences, and apparently that it was Steppenwolf at first, and Steppenwolf looked lame as fuck in the Joss Whedon version. I didn't realize
Yeah,
that.
he wasn't wearing living armor
Dude,
like
that
he is in this
fucking
one.
living armor was so tight too.
Yeah,
When
we're
you,
gonna talk about
Alright,
it.
cool,
Yeah,
good. I want to talk about Steppenwolf because I actually like Steppenwolf. He was pretty tight.
yeah. Nah, he was an absolute beast in this one.
Yeah, dude was a fucking monster, bro. He was a
Yeah, it
goddamn
was.
monster, bro.
Yeah. So the whole scene at the very beginning with everything was not the very beginning of the movie. The backstory scene that is it Wonder Woman that leads us into it?
Yeah, I think it's Wonder Woman. I'm pretty sure.
It's somebody. Lead us into the back scene. We see the Green Lantern, who isn't in this movie except for in that old scene and in the future scene. So we see a Green Lantern, which is
Yes,
really cool.
it was very cool. I don't know what Green Lantern that was, but they were sick. And
I saw the name today and I'm
watching
blanking on it.
Darkseid cut that dude's hand off. That was badass.
Yeah. And then the ring was about to come back, but then Darkseid just immediately killed the guy.
Yes, it was. Oh, it was so tight. It was so fucking tight, man. Yeah, it looked like
Yeah.
Darkseid was actually trying to grab the ring, but then someone like hit him and he wasn't able to anymore.
Yeah. Which I think is something that has happened is sometimes if you can grab the ring, you can put it on. They usually choose, but I think it is something that could happen.
That's tight as fuck.
Yeah, it's definitely cool. And yeah, the whole the old gods. So we see Zeus, we see Ares, and we see Artemis. They're the ones that are just standing above everybody else,
Yeah, they were
super tall.
tall as fuck,
Yeah.
dude. It was so
Yeah.
cool. They were awesome.
And it's only 3 of them. So if you think about how many Greek gods there actually are,
Yeah, does it
it was
actually
only
go by
3.
like does it actually go by like they're like all the Greek gods?
I think it mostly does.
Bruh. That's tight.
If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure it mostly does. Just some of the cool things. Oh my god, I finally see Thomas's house.
Yeah, that was
Holy hell.
just a really good action scene. I really like that. I really like that entire action scene.
Yeah. I think the thing that we see him drop down, that he like burns into the surface of the earth, is what we hear about later called the anti-life equation.
Yeah.
If I had to warrant a theory, I think that's what it is.
Yeah, dude.
Which we'll discuss later. Random chick?
Whoa, what a babe.
What is this crap?
Who's this babe?
Okay.
What up, babe? Wait, babe, where are you going,
I'm fucking away
babe?
from you. I'm fucking away
Come
from
on,
you.
babe.
No,
Babe,
Hey,
please.
babe. Hey,
Tips,
babe. Come on
no,
back, babe.
tips,
Where you going,
Fedora.
babe?
Hey, babe.
no,
Hey, babe.
no,
Where you
no.
going,
It
babe?
feels like a coffee shop in LA. Help.
Come on back, babe.
We're losers.
And listen to fucking Linkin Park in his bedroom. Is what I thought about him at
What's
first.
Is it? Well, yeah. What's wrong with? Yeah. I was just the same thing. I can't listen to Linkin Park in my bedroom with the door closed and the lights off.
For real.
That
I
seems
mean, you
normal.
can, but
Full volume.
just know. Okay, you're just making this worse.
What are you talking about?
Just making this worse. It's just very emo, angsty kid.
I don't know what you mean. I'm a full grown man.
Okay.
Where do we live?
In the angst zone, where everything is angsty, and all I do is get angry and punch drywall.
So what? That's why I have art.
Unstrivable.
That's why. I
What are you? What are you trying to say?
Bro, you are Aquaman, bro. Angsty takes a big chug from fucking
From a beer glass, like I'm Thor. Yeah.
Exactly, dude. I was like, okay, that's who this character is. Fine. All right, I'm fucking dead. God damn it.
I wish.
How the fuck do I? What did I do? What did I do? I changed the camera, so I'm looking at myself. How do I switch it back?
You switched to third person. I have no clue.
He's looking directly at me. Steve is staring into my soul right now, and I don't like it. Thomas, how do I fix this?
One sec. One sec.
He just keeps looking at me, dude. I don't like it, dude. I am your god, Steve.
F7. No, not
I
F7.
did nothing.
Hold on. That's if you were on a dragon.
Yeah, I have no idea what I pressed. But
World.
yeah, like I was saying,
We're like negative 420. Just get there first. And then we'll go through
420,
this.
nice. You guys hear me?
But I got quite a bit of iron.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, me too.
Hello?
I'm gonna try to find my way back to you.
This podcast ever, and
It
I'm
is.
glad.
It's gonna
I'm
be
glad
so good.
this one.
I'm glad.
It's gonna be.
I'm glad to be a part of this. This makes me
Um,
happy.